Visit jerks. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Hey, big shout out to Bex. She did a push a send over, and I know Dr. Awesome was also streaming at the same time, and he sent people over. So huge thanks to both of those streams for doing that. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Real quick, remember the whole first part of this is Nathan and I. We're just going to be having a conversation. We're not going to be looking at chat at all. If you have questions, please hold those for the last part. And mods, and there's Mark doing his normal thing. We'll get to that before we start too. Mods, if you would, if you see somebody come in saying hi or asking questions, make sure they know that we can't even see the chat. And Mark, thank you so much. He just did 5 memberships, and let's see. Craig got one, Big Cat, Boots and Cats, Johnny from Dan's Fish, and James H. were all gifted. Thanks so much. Okay, so I'm closing the chat. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah.
Can't see it. It's too distracting. You know, there's all kinds of fun stuff that happens in the chat. So, Nathan, hi.
Hello.
How do you say your last name?
Hovey.
Hovey.
Yep.
Okay. Like Hovey.
Yeah, in the chats, I was always saying hovercraft. Think hovercraft because of the same sound.
All right, because sometimes I said Hovey, sometimes I said Hovey, and I just want to make sure I was saying it right.
Yeah, people have said Hovey my entire life, so as long as
you're
you're
used
not
to it.
really calling me a jerk or anything, I'll answer.
Well, I'll probably do that too once in a while, but it'll all be fun. It'll all be for fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't really know a whole lot about you. I know you're married. I know you live in Florida. Oh, okay. You're in a relationship.
Yeah, 13 years.
Okay.
So,
that's married.
Yeah.
That's married.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, have it official, that's married.
Yeah.
And Florida, right?
Yep, Naples, Florida.
Naples. Where is that located in the state?
It's on the Gulf side. She's over here showing me between my curtain. I have a curtain on my door, and she's sticking her ring finger through the curtain. Like, I don't see no ring.
Okay.
Fort Myers. I don't know if you know Fort Myers.
It's been forever since I've been to Florida. I've been to Disney World when I was a kid. Geez, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Longer than most people have been alive, probably. So
west of Miami on the other coast.
Okay. So the Gulf side, though, so you don't really get too many of the hurricanes and things like that. Once in a while, they come in that way, but
yeah,
not too bad. And what do you do for a living?
I do handyman and lawn maintenance.
Okay, that's right. I remember. I remember you've talked about that, about being out mowing and stuff. And do you have like big lawnmowers, like big 0-turn lawnmowers and stuff?
I used to, when I was in my 20s, I had my own lawn service and I had the whole trailer, the whole 9, but I'm just starting out with the lawn stuff. I kind of did it for a friend. It was my very first client. I was doing handyman stuff for, and I've been begging them to let me do the lawns because they pay me to come behind their old lawn crew and do yard work. I'm like, what are you doing? You're wasting money here. So they really signed on, and it's kind of kicked it into gear for me. I love doing lawn maintenance. I do it. Oh yeah, I absolutely love it.
What is it about it, that just being outdoors, or just what is it?
I just enjoy the work.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I don't. I have just a rider, and I get out there with the weed eater and the riding lawnmower, and I enjoy doing it. I like maintaining the lawn. So doing it for a living, though, I can't imagine anymore, especially in such a humid place.
Yeah.
But you're probably used to it.
Pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had 4 yesterday that I was supposed to do. I only ended up doing 2.
Because of the heat?
So hot. Yeah, it was just so hot. I started getting dizzy towards the end of the day. And I take water and everything, but I mean, it is just so hot.
Now, are you Florida born and raised? Have you lived your whole life in Florida?
No, I moved from Michigan when I was 10. So I'm 43 now. So
so
time.
You're long enough that you're definitely acclimated to that type of weather. You're used to it. Yeah. And we're at in Michigan too, or just you don't have to say exactly what part of the state.
Born in Lansing, the capital. and then we lived in Grand Ledge for the most part. And then my dad, because they separated when I was super little. I don't even remember when it was, but he moved around. He worked for Ford, as most people in Michigan did. So he moved a lot, and we lived in Saginaw, Chesaning, St. Charles, Flint, Grand Rapids. I'm sure there's a couple more I'm missing, but yeah,
mostly northern part, right? Not so much the southern part of the state.
Yeah.
Which I can see why. Saginaw, I think that area is beautiful. It's a beautiful area. Yeah.
Saginaw.
I was born in northern Indiana, so we would go to Michigan every once in a while. And southern part of the state's okay too. It's not bad, but the northern part was just so much nicer, man. It was just beautiful up there. I absolutely love it. I
haven't been back to Michigan since I think the last time I was 16. I used to go every summer. My mom would ship me off, to get a break.
Yeah.
And, I would spend time with family and whatnot. And I think it was 16 was the last time I went up there, and I was old enough to start making my own. Say, hey, I don't want to go see Dad no more. He was an alcoholic, so I didn't really care for that.
Gotcha.
So she finally listened and said, okay, no more.
And what made your mom go to Florida from Michigan? I mean, you said they got divorced and stuff, but did she have family in Florida or something?
Yeah, her sister actually moved down here, and we came on a vacation, and she just loved it and just decided to try to change.
Yeah.
So
gotcha. Yeah. And do you ever really miss Michigan? That's hard to say. Michigan. Do you ever miss Michigan?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to go back and see the seasons and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring that up, the seasons especially, because that's something that I love the change of seasons. That's why it's difficult for me to live in a place. I mean, I lived in Arizona forever. There's no real change of seasons. There's a little bit, right? But it's not like it is in the north,
Yeah, we do get some cold, but not like true cold. It's cold for us because we're used to this high heat and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we have two seasons. We have summer and hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see, the leaves changing on the trees, play in the snow again, all that stuff. So, was so tiny. It was just, my uncle at the time owned the only gas station in our town. So, it was podunk, little farm town and whatnot. And it was awesome. I remember playing outside every day and not having to worry about anything,
Yeah. So, do you have other family there in Florida too, or are you only child? Do you have any brothers and sisters? Anything?
I have one older brother and then 3 half brothers. One of my half brothers passed away from overdose, and my older brother, we don't really have a relationship. He chose the path of my father, with alcohol and whatnot. He was 10 when he started drinking. So
Jesus.
Yeah, it was bad. Him and my dad would play poker and stay up all night drinking and whatnot. But he's not doing so well, health-wise because of it. And,
yeah, I can imagine. No sisters, though.
No sisters.
Your poor mom. Poor mom.
Yeah, we put her through some stuff.
I bet. Do you have a good relationship today with your mom? Do you guys? No, not at all. Yeah, I get that. I understand.
I tried. There's only so much someone can give until it's like, okay, well, I'm the only one trying to make this. You're my mother. I'm your son. That's never going to change. Like, get it together here. We're a family, And I just gave up.
Yeah, you're right. You can only do so much, and just because they're family doesn't mean you owe them anything.
Yeah,
especially if they're just
choose her boyfriends over her family, which I get. Like the companionship of having somebody, but when they make you choose if your kids can come over or anything of that sort, like, really, is that really the person you want to be with?
Yeah.
So I just was like, yeah, enough's enough.
She made her choices too, right? She's got to live with them too. So, hopefully she doesn't.
Care of my brother, actually, because he's on disability. He can't work, he can't drive, he can't do anything. So she takes care of him, and it's kind of like a slap in the face. Like, you'll do, bend over backwards for my older brother, but yet you don't even reach out to, if she reaches out for like happy birthdays, it's on Facebook. Like, really? Why do you got to be public about it? Just contact me.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. So everybody sees that she's being a good mom and saying happy birthday. Yeah. I understand. I get it. I know where you're coming from with that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But again, you get to choose. So do you have like any super close friends that have become like your family instead?
Nope. They've all
just really
screwed me over.
Yeah. So really just your non-wife. I went like this so that we, Is she watching? Is she watching, or can she hear?
Yeah, she's out there doing something.
She just heard you say about, okay.
Yeah.
You got to put a ring on it, man. You got to put a ring on it.
Well, it was in the beginning of our relationship. We talked about it, and I said, if we can make it for as long as I was with my ex-wife, then we'll go from there. Well, it's been 3 years over. And we're both happy. Why? Okay, I made a ring and whatnot, but we don't care to like go and have a wedding and all that stuff. So
it's just a piece of paper. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. So,
gotcha. So, what other kind of jobs have you held? So you currently a handyman and lawn care and stuff. And you said you did that earlier too. But what other kind of stuff have you done throughout your life? Is there other jobs in there that anything sticks out to you?
My first job, obviously, I worked at a grocery store. I think every first job is somewhere along those lines,
Yeah, me too.
My mom was actually the manager, so I just walked right in and did whatever I wanted. But warehousing, stuff like that, nothing crazy. I did special events for a long time, set up with the big tents for weddings and
gotcha.
Events like that and whatnot. The golf down here, it's a golf town, so we did a lot of parties for the golf courses.
Almost like a roadie, a little bit of like that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we did everything from tents, flowers, flooring, the china, you name it, we did it.
Kenny, ABC Biotopes, he's done that kind of work before. In fact, I was at a concert in Albany, New York, and I didn't realize he had set up. So we went. My daughter took me to see Greta Van Fleet, who is her favorite band. She bought the tickets and even drove me. It was really nice, but it was like 3 hours away. When we got there, and I don't remember why I was talking to Kenny. Maybe I mentioned that I was there or something, and he was there as well because he was setting up, and I didn't get a chance to hang out. But he does the same kind of stuff, though. Same kind of stuff.
Yeah, I missed that job the most out of all of them that I've had.
Yeah, what was it? What was it? Yeah,
it was different. I mean, yes, we're setting up tents, and how many times can you set up a 20 by 20 tent and it'd be different? But it's for a different type of event. Whether it's a wedding this week and a bar mitzvah the next week, it's always different. And you're at different places, you're outdoors, so it was just a lot of fun.
Did you ever see anything really crazy happen during any of those events? That nobody got like super drunk and took off all their clothes.
Yeah, there's lots of that. Sometimes it was us.
Yeah, you got to at least partake a little bit of things, maybe in the background. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
Usually we would just leave. I mean, some of these parties would take 3-4 days to set up. I don't want to be here no more.
Yeah, you had enough.
But yeah, we would.
So that's one.
Parties, on the weekends and stuff. The crew.
Yeah. And how long ago was that, roughly?
In my 20s.
Okay.
23, 24 years.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. Yeah. So quite a long time.
Yeah.
But I could see why you would miss that. I would definitely miss that kind of thing too. And there's jobs I did miss throughout the years, like that. Things that weren't even, they weren't the high paying jobs. They weren't anything. They were just fun. They were just, there was a lot of camaraderie with your. Do you have any friends from that time period still today?
No.
Don't see any of those people.
Not that I hang out with or talk to a lot, But if I ran into them and I was like, hey, let's go, grab a beer or something, they would be down to do that. But I pretty much cut everybody out from the past.
Yeah.
Man.
Any reason why, or just felt like it was the right thing to do?
Yeah, the right thing to do, steer from a different type of crowd to, become a better person.
I get it. Yeah. Because, sometimes you fall in with the wrong crowd and, problems occur. I definitely have been in that situation. I mess around over here. Hold on. I accidentally opened up the chat again, and then I was seeing stuff, and it's so distracting. You guys, I love the chat. I love seeing you guys hanging out. There's actually 75 people here right now watching it. Not to put any pressure on you, but there's 75 people, so you better be pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, I appreciate each and every one of you.
This is your second live stream, right? Because you got to be on the fishfam.link thing with Jenna and Dee Dee and Annette.
Annette.
Yeah,
it was fun. I was just as nervous, I don't know if you can hear it, but my heart is racing. I'm not camera. I'm not one to be on the camera. It makes me nervous. Well,
I get it. I do. And, I've done, you are number 102 just for the Focus Ons. Plus I do those afternoon delights. And I've probably done 500 live streams over the last couple of years, but I still get anxious before a lot of them. So I understand. I get that. But, this community is, for the most part, not very judgy and pretty open. And you've been around for a while now. You know how they are, so I wouldn't be too nervous because
that's like I said in the next stream. It's in my own head, I'm psyching myself out because with the dental issues is the main reason. I see it in real life. People look at you and you can just tell they're judging you. Not at least I've not had one instance with the Fish Fam of anybody saying anything about it, but I've dealt with it long enough that it's just always there, so.
Gotcha. I understand. I've in the same boat. I'm an older person and my teeth aren't what they were. There's been other people too. Susie Q actually mentioned that she had a lot of trolls that when she first started live streaming, she said they just ripped her apart and she felt horrible about it. But I don't think those are people that are still around today or really what we call Fish Fam. They might have been, but they're few and far between. So anyways, all right. So we talked about jobs and we talked about where you lived. Have you done any traveling to speak of? Have you left Florida too often since you moved there?
No, not really. Yeah. No.
When I was younger,
oh, absolutely. I would love to travel. If you took the Mississippi River and drew a line up, I've been to a lot of those states. I was super young. My mom's ex-husband was a truck driver, and he would take me or my brother every other time, when he could, and travel. So I've been, to New York and all kinds of places, but I wasn't allowed out of the truck. So, but, I would love to travel.
We have that in common. My dad wasn't a truck driver, but he drove for Coachman, who makes RVs. Okay. They're there in northern Indiana. That's where I lived, and same thing. I would go with my dad. He would, because they'd have to drive them from the factory where they make them to the dealership. So he had been all over the United States, and I would go with him. I was quite young at the time. It was a long time ago, and so I've been to Florida a few times with him. Doing that, but the same exact type of thing. So is there any place that you remember really that stood out from that? I mean, you were so young, maybe not.
New York was one because of back in those days. I mean, this was before we moved to Florida. So, back in the 80s, people jumping up on the truck, the homeless people washing their windows and this, that, and the third. And he was like, no, we're going to a pretty bad area. You need to get in the cab because it was a sleeper. He's like, you need to get back, So I remember
New York City then? In the city? Was it New York City? Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Which is it's not really like that today. It's not. Patty can attest. And we've got a few other New York City people, but Patty's the one I think of the most. When I think of New York City, I think of Patty. Because if New York became a person, it would sound a lot like Patty to me. I just always thought that it would act a lot like Patty as well. So
yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about New York. My wife's uncle, I believe, lives in New York and says it's wonderful. You know, she's been and enjoyed it. So definitely
now I
want to go.
You know, that's where I live, but I live way upstate. I'm way upstate. I'm far away from. I'm an hour from any city of any size. So it's totally different. I have more in common with Michigan than with New York City, really. There's cheese curds like Wisconsin. There's, dairy farms all over the place and apple farms and, all that.
So I missed an apple farm.
Someday, man, I got to win the lottery so I can build some homes so Fish Fam can come up and hang out with me for a while.
I can't travel. In Michigan, we used to go to the apple orchards and pick our own apples, and then they would shoot them right there in front of you. Nothing beats that.
Yeah. What else? Anything else like that, like blueberries or anything? Doesn't Michigan have a lot of blueberries? Do you remember?
Blackberries at my aunt's house every summer when I would go up there. She lived on top of the hill, and at the bottom was the train tracks. And when I heard the train, I could run to the train tracks. And just as soon, every time, as soon as I got to the tracks, the train would fly past. And I loved it. But like maybe 5-minute walk down the tracks, there was a massive pile of wild blackberries. And we would pick them every year.
Oh, those are good. We have those in our yard that we actually grow. They're not wild, but we actually grow the blackberries, and they are so good. But everywhere you go, anywhere you go hiking this time of the year, they're all coming in right now. So it's a good time to go hiking.
Yeah, my aunt was really big into that stuff, making jams, and she had a massive garden in her backyard. But I would come out and my fingers and my lips would be all, from the blackberries. And they were like, how many did you eat compared to what you got in your basket? And I'm like, well, I ate more. It was fun. I miss that type of stuff. You ain't doing that down here.
No, but you got plenty of other produce down there. Let's see, obviously the oranges, but not as many as you used to grow. Yeah. Valencia, right? What's that?
Tomatoes.
A lot of tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know. I used to know all that because when I was a produce guy, so I would know where all the produce was coming from. I remembered, I know that Florida really wasn't known for the eating oranges so much, but the juicing oranges, like the Valencias, not the navels. Mm-hmm. California and Arizona had way better navel oranges, just for eating as opposed to the juicing. But now these days, I don't remember any of it. So tomatoes. Let's not go into that. We don't have to have a farming lesson.
Yeah,
we'll drive everybody away.
Might have heard Plant City. I don't know if you've heard of Plant City, Florida.
I have not.
They do a lot of produce, like strawberries and stuff like that there.
It's a big farm where they grow all the stuff, or
yeah, it's all farmed, but
okay,
it's just like. I guess it's good land for growing, but it's just it's like podunk, farmland. And
is it the same type of thing where you can pick your own stuff, Plant City,
I believe they have some areas where you can.
Hold on, I got to look it up. So just Plant City. I got to know. I'm sorry, I don't normally do this in the middle of a focus on, but I got to know. Let's see what it is.
Are you talking to me? After this, are you doing another event? No, this is after this. We're good. It's 2 hours. Yep.
Is there something going on or?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. Visit Plant City. It's where you want to be. So it's an actual city called Plant City.
Yep. I haven't been there in years. I remember I was probably 17 or 18. And my brother and his girlfriend at the time took me to Busch Gardens. We went for Hollow Scream. And on the way back, we stopped in Plant City. I don't know why, what we were thinking, but we left the McDonald's in Plant City, and my brother's girlfriend hit the median and popped 2 tires on the same side of the car. It took like 3 hours for a tow truck to come and help us. We were stranded in the middle of nowhere. Really just plants. That's all we see. So I don't know how it is now, but
it doesn't really tell too much about it. It just says it's a charming town with rich ties to tradition and community. See, I thought Plant City was like a big, almost like an amusement park or something like farming, but it's an actual town. It's an actual city. That's weird.
And
Your summer plan could include Plant City.
I live like 30 minutes away from a tomato factory or plant, whatever you would call it, where they take the big semis, take all the tomatoes. So, but
Gotcha.
you think we would get some pretty good tomatoes, but no, they suck.
No. Yeah, they're sending them everywhere else.
Yeah.
We get great tomatoes. I don't want to do too much of the farming stuff, but we have a garden and they're just starting to come in now. And every year, just amazing tomatoes. So anyways, let's shift gears a little bit. I think people are leaving in droves now. We're down to 69 giggity people. Let's talk about hobbies. What do you do in your spare time other than fish keeping? Is there anything that you like to do to kill the time? Fishing
Yeah, I love fishing. I got the fishing gear all over my room. It's all hanging from the ceilings and whatnot. But I haven't gone fishing since I got back into the hobby pretty much. It's like totally switched gears, but...
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just that you use your spare time for the fish tanks, or is there a connection there?
No, I think it's just I enjoy this a little more.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. I mean, I'll always love fishing. I love bass fishing, for largemouths and stuff like that. I don't really care for the salt water. I don't like the beach. I don't like sand. I don't like the feeling of the salt water. No, I hate going there. I'm the type that'll wear sneakers on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I enjoy the beach. I like being by the water. I just big water that you can't see across. I absolutely love that.
It's just so our beach here, you can't even see 3 inches into the ocean, and it's already murky and nasty. And no, that's not.
It just doesn't. No. Okay. So you would prefer to be what? So if you went on a trip instead of going to see the beach, would you go see mountains or forest, or where would you rather be?
Probably the forest would be somewhere right up my alley, but the mountains, I mean, anywhere really that isn't beach would be bucket list for me, because I've never traveled out of the United States even, so somewhere just completely different than Florida.
Yeah, and Florida doesn't really have much in the way of no mountains, but
and
but
in my
nothing
area,
really,
it's completely
no real
flat here.
Forests either. I mean, but they're different. They're not the forest like you remember from Michigan. It's not the same type of thing. Plenty of the Okefenokee, right? Isn't that Florida? Not the Okefenokee. The no. Anyways, let's move along. I can't remember what I was thinking of.
And Naples, it's like no woods left. They're knocking everything down. This town is growing so fast. It's crazy. We live in the city. Like, this neighborhood has been here for years. And there's bears and coyotes and stuff just walking down the streets. There's just nowhere else for them to go, which sucks. It sucks for them. It sucks for us too, because that's their, we're taking away their home. But it's just growing so fast. There's like no woods left here.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
We're doing that in a lot of places. And those animals, of course, get killed because we're taking over like you said, we're taking over their land. Where are they supposed to go? Yeah.
We get bobcats. I mean, all kinds of stuff walking down the streets.
We have bear here too, but not bobcats or anything like that. I don't remember that. Arizona, I saw some big cats, but not here. Nothing like that here.
Yeah.
So fishing. Anyways, back to the hobbies and stuff. Fishing is a big hobby. Is there anything else that you like to do in your spare time?
Not really. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I would like to do. RC
like what?
Cars.
Okay.
I grew up playing with RC cars, so that would be something. And even in my teenage years, a buddy, he was like a brother to me. His uncle owned a hobby shop here, so we used to fly the RC planes, the gas-powered cars and stuff like that. He had all kinds of that stuff. So
yeah,
that's something that if I could afford it, I would definitely get back into playing with some RCs.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I like those too, especially the boat.
I want to get a plane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got the drones. The drones are have come a long way. Where did I put it? Oh, it's back there. I've got a pretty. It's not a high end one.
Yeah.
It's only like it's above the toy level. The thing goes high enough up though that you can't even see it. It has a beginner mode, and I had that on for like the first couple of weeks. So I finally turned it off, and then I sent it up as far as I could send it, and I couldn't even see it anymore. It was just it was gone. But I still had video. I could still see.
Yeah,
So that was cool.
I thought about like looking into the drones, but I don't really have a use for it.
Yeah, it's a toy. It definitely is a toy.
I'd rather have a plane, something I can crash and fix and fly it right then and there. Put a piece of tape on the wing and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was looking at there's a plane, a starter plane. It's like $150, and you can turn it around in like 30 feet. So it's very beginner friendly, and then you can get mods for it, super cheap, and advance to the next level. But that was something I would be interested in.
Gotcha. And is it flying in general, or just, would you ever be interested in being like a pilot? Do you have an interest in that stuff, in airplanes in general, or is it just the RC stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty much the RC. If I got the opportunity to learn to fly, yeah, who wouldn't? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It ties into where I will skydive at least once before I'm gone. So that kind of fits in with the plane.
Yeah.
So.
I have a friend who did that, and I've told this before, but he threw up 7 times for the entire trip. So when they took him up, it started the first few were in the airplane. I don't know how many times. I don't remember what the breakdown was. He told me he threw up like 3 or 4 times in the airplane, and then 3 or 4 times down. And he had somebody attached to him, so he was throwing up on somebody, And then once they hit the ground, he threw up again. 7 times he said he threw up, but he did it. He'll never do it again, but he did it. He was that's how afraid he was, but he still did it. So
I don't think I would get that crazy. I do get motion sickness, like car sick and stuff like that, but I don't think it'd be a problem. I've flown in planes, many, many times every year for 10 years or so, I've flew in planes.
To go back and forth, yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know if I would do it or not. I don't know. We'll have to ask the chat.
I would skydive over bungee jumping any day. I
really
don't bungee jump. Nope.
Why? Are you afraid that the bungee would break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you might survive that and be screwed.
Yeah.
But if your parachute don't open, it's done.
Your legs would be like right here. This would just be it. It'd be just this with 2 little legs sticking out of the bottom.
Yeah. I don't want to be a vegetable.
No. I guess you're probably right. I wonder. I should look into that and see. Which is safer. How many have had accidents? More than the other.
You don't have a backup bungee. You have a backup parachute.
Yeah.
So.
But people have, especially depending on where you're bungee jumping, if it's in the water, and it's a lot easier to survive from that. So I guess that there's a lot of variables, but that's a good point. I think I would do the bungee. Yeah. I would probably, I would have to make sure that I didn't eat anything for a couple days before, because I think it would be a bad scene for anybody down below.
Yeah, I say I wouldn't, but if I'm in the Bahamas or something and it's just a magical place and it's like, hey, look, it's right here. You want to do it? I probably would, just to say I've done it, but if I have a choice, let's go bungee jumping or skydiving, I'm going skydiving.
Gotcha. Okay. So we talked about the hobbies. Let's talk about fish keeping a little bit. I don't like to get too much into that just because, in our community, there's a lot of people that talk about fish, right? And there's a lot of people that are really knowledgeable and do it better than I could ever do. So I try not to talk about that too much on this. But how long ago did you get into fish keeping?
Well, keeping tanks myself, I would say it's been off and on. I just got back into the hobby like a couple Christmases ago, but
Okay.
my mom's had tanks, for as long as I can remember. She's had, a 55 at least. So it's kind of always been around. But
Okay.
me personally, I think I was, what, I met 13 years ago. So yeah, probably right into my 30s, 28, I think I was maybe. Got my first tank of my own and just took off, I think
Do you
I
remember?
had 12 tanks or something at one time.
Do you remember what your first of your own tanks? What was your first fish in your own tanks?
I don't remember the first exact fish, but the type was cichlids, African
Okay.
cichlids, Jack Dempsey's, the bigger,
Yeah.
medium size, I guess, fit cichlids.
And what are you in today? What I can't see. Those look like Archer. What are those right there?
And here we have, is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. There's
Yeah.
tetras.
Okay.
We got Corys, some Bolivian rams, two Apistos.
I'm gonna put you on the big screen just for a minute. There we go. Okay. So
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I can see that they're tetras now, but at first they look like those Archer fish to me.
Yeah, these up here are diamond tetras. And then I have Buenos Aires, Priscilla tetras are in here as well. And there's some cherry barbs that weren't supposed to stay in here. I was just moving them while I rebuilt something. And then there's 3 Bolivian rams and 2 Apistos. I believe they're fire red or double red or something of the sort.
Okay. Okay.
I actually got them from Richard
Oh,
Reynolds.
okay. Yeah.
I guess he had won them in an auction.
Yes. I believe he got them from Jennifer Weaver, if I remember correctly. I believe that's who. She gave them up for maybe it was the Vinay auctions that we did, or I think that's what it was. There's been so many where people have donated things,
Yeah.
but I believe that's where they came from. And you got them from Richard. That's cool. Richard's going to be at the Clash, so I'm going to get to meet him this year. So I'm looking forward to
He's
it.
a cool dude. He's done. I mean, in the short period of time that I've known him and actually met him in person, he's done so much for me. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's what Eduardo says too. So you must not be too far from Eduardo then, right?
Not really. It takes me about, I think it was like 48 minutes to get to Richard, and Eduardo's right around the corner from him. So
yeah. Did you get to meet Eduardo too?
Yeah, he's actually the one that introduced me to Richard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very cool.
And
very nice.
I've hung out with Richard more than I have with Eduardo, but he's busy. What can you do?
Yeah. I got to meet Eduardo last year at the Clash, and I'm so looking forward to it again this year. And again, last year we had about 60, 65 people, and this year it looks like there's going to be about 100 just from the community. I mean, they had I don't know, something like 400 people show up total. I can't remember what the number was. If Scotty's here, he can tell us. But this year there's probably going to be about 100 of us just from the community. Yeah, just small channels like us, and Eduardo and Richard and just so many people. So it's super exciting. I can't wait to go. One of these days, if you ever can, you should try.
Yeah, I would love to travel to all these events. But just starting out with the bit, I've been doing the business for a year or so, but we moved, trying to refocus the I don't know what you'd call it, but like instead of doing handyman and lawn on the side, I'm trying to switch gears and I want to go lawn with handyman to those customers.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like rebrand it.
And is it because that you enjoy doing the landscaping so much more?
Yeah. And I know I can drum up more business with the lawn than I can with handyman.
Gotcha.
So I've done it when I was in my 20s. I've worked for a few companies, doing lawn maintenance and whatnot. So I just know I know that line of work more than I know handyman.
Okay, that makes sense.
I can fix anything, just because I just do it. You know what I mean? I've learned just by doing things. No one's taught me, but I know what I'm doing with lawns.
I just don't have it. I don't have the handyman part of things. I have a very good friend who's done a lot of work on our house, and I did construction work, but I just don't. I guess I just don't have the desire. I don't have the desire to do it. Is that a cat or a dog? I saw an animal.
A dog. Come here.
What kind of doggy? What kind of doggy is it?
She's a shepherd mix. Well,
oh,
she's a blackmouth cur, really. But come here. Say hi.
Oh,
Look,
what's her name?
Bailey.
Hi, Bailey. Oh, she's a good girl. I can tell.
This is the youngest one, the needy one. She comes and she nudges me with her nose, like, "Hey, come on, take me out."
Yeah, Wally does that too.
We have another one over here on the bed sleeping. She's a pit bull. And then there's another one out in the living room sleeping, which is a pit bull.
Yeah.
All rescues. Yeah, we've got Dixie and then Brandy out there.
Gotcha. We've got 3 as well.
Yeah.
Different ones though. We've got a Chihuahua Papillon mix, a pug, and then of course Wally.
Yeah.
And Wally usually he puts his head on me when he wants to go out. Like he'll look up at me. He puts his head on me and he's like looking up.
Yeah. Because that's what she was just doing right here. Because the nudging wasn't work.
Do you need to take a quick break to take her out, or
okay? Can get them.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. If she sees a bunny in the yard, she'll come and nudge me, like, "Hey, there's a bunny. Let me go." She doesn't chase them and whatnot. But
so you have a fenced-in backyard?
No, unfortunately.
Can you take her and let her run, or do you have to keep her on the leash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bunny or no bunny, she does not come off the leash. I take her out with a collar, but the wife will not. She puts the harness and everything on her. She's a runner. Yep, she's a runner.
Same here. I'm not me. I'm not a runner, but same thing. Wally's the same way. Collar and a harness. But yeah, I want to get to the point where I can let him off the leash and just let him roam free. But we're not there yet. He's 10 months old. He's right about 10 months old now. So still a long way to go. And I've been very slow with his training.
Yeah,
but
I don't work with them at all either.
He's more of a companion than a pet. He's my friend, so he gets away with a lot of stuff. But I would feel very comfortable at your house then, because I always feel more comfortable when people have dogs.
Yeah, we're always going to have a dog. At one time, we had 8 dogs.
That's a little much.
I think it was 8.
And all bigger dogs too, like the pits and the
we had
middle of it.
Chihuahua mix. He was a little bigger than like your plain Jane Chihuahua, or she, I should say. After one of the hurricanes, there was a little tiny shelter that was by one of the houses we were living at, and the hurricane came and it like lifted the roof off of their building and flooded like 3 to 4 feet. So they needed help. We said, okay, we'll bring all the dogs to our house. We lived out in the woods. We had like plenty of land for them to run on. And they never came back for them. So we kind of got stuck with them,
Yeah.
It was to the point where we had like walled off the laundry room, and there was a dog living in the laundry room. There was a dog living in the bathroom. It was just like, it was getting too much. It wasn't fair for them. Yes, it's better than being on the street, and they all got their own time to come out and hang out with us and whatnot. But we just had to do something. So we just loaded them back in the car and went and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, you guys have to take these dogs back. Like, we've done enough." We had them for almost 2 years, like, you're not doing nothing here. And it sucks because we were moving. Otherwise, we would have kept them,
Yeah.
So
you did your part.
A smaller place with less yard. And we had 3 of our own, these 3 actually. So I was like, we have to do something. We can't have 8 dogs, 2 cats, and a little 2-bedroom apartment type. But so they finally were like, all right, we'll take them back. It's like, well, yeah.
Well, it still says something about you as a person, though, that even to say, hey, bring them here and to keep them for 2 years.
Yeah, every one of the dogs we have now did not come from the shelter; they came from the streets. So, like the one that was just here, Bailey. I was going to work one day, and it was raining, and she was in the 4-way median, just standing in the middle of the road, her head down.
Oh,
Looks so sad. So I get out and get her in the car, and she perks up as soon as she gets in the car. She's like, "Oh, finally, thanks. Somebody gets me." Take her home. I go to work, come back. She's still there. Like, all right, what are we going to do? We tried rehoming her. We took her 5 miles away to a beautiful home, fenced in. It wasn't like chain link or nothing. It was like those wrought iron fences.
oh, gotcha.
Well, she got out. She got out and she found her way back to our house.
She knew.
So we said, obviously she doesn't want to go anywhere. So then we've had her ever since.
Yeah.
Dixie came from another town upstate somewhere, but they neglected her. They kicked her. She got pregnant and they kicked her out. The story is they put her babies in the black dog crate outside with a sign that said free. You can't do that in Florida.
No.
You cannot. I don't care if they have water. You cannot do that in Florida.
Yeah.
Supposedly, they all passed away. It happened again, supposedly. This is just a story from the person that brought her to us, so I don't know if it's true. I believe that there are people that would do that type of crap, so.
Mm-hmm. And they should be in jail because that's abuse. It's abuse.
It happened again. She got pregnant. They did the same thing. So that's 2 litters of puppies that they pretty much just murdered. And we were like, well, just steal the dog. We don't care. Steal her. Take her from the house and bring her to us. And then she's been here ever since. And then I lived in Lake Placid, Florida for about a year and a couple months. And I met this younger guy. And he had Brandy's mom, and then like it's like I forget what it's called. It's a little dog, like a beagle size, but with curly hair. They're white. They had that, and I was like,
not Shih Tzu. They've got more straight.
I forget.
Anyways,
I can see the name of the dog. I just can't speak it. But I was like, what are you guys feeding these dogs? They're like super skinny and whatnot. And they're like, oh, table scraps. I'm like, what? You can't be feeding these dogs table scraps. So I would take dog food from the family I was living with and bring it over for them and feed the dogs. And then finally I started buying dog food for them. I bought them a 50-pound bag of dog food. The next day I came over, I said, hey, where's the dog food? I want to feed them. Oh, we gave it to them last night. Like the whole bag. They're like, yeah, we just dumped it they dumped it in the garage floor. They ate it all, and then they pooped everywhere, and they would beat them because they pooped on the floor. And so, no, I'm not having it. So I called Jenny, and I was like, hey, I need your help. She's been involved in the animal world since she was like 16. She's done her own nonprofit magazines, the whole 9. Worked at vets, everything. Said, I need your help. Come pick up this dog. And then we told them, you can either give us the dog or we'll go about it the right way, and go to the law. And they're like, yeah, you can just take her. So here we are, 7-8 years later. We got them.
That just there's so many stories like that. People just know responsibility for their animals. We see it constantly. Even up here, there's people just let their animals roam free all the time, and they, even in the middle of wintertime, there'd be these. It's 0, and there's these 2 dogs that roam in the neighborhood, and it just I don't know. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. So
yeah, it's crazy how many stray pets are in just the United States.
Oh yeah. Get your animals fixed. Yeah. But you let slip that her name is Jenny.
Yeah.
So now we know. Yeah. Hi, Jenny.
Yeah, I think she's probably out back in the patio gardening.
Now, what does she do for a living then? Because you said that she's been in, dealing with pets and stuff forever. Does she work at a veterinary office, or what does she do now?
No, she's a real estate agent.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of on the back burner now that we're here. She helps with the handyman stuff. Some of the stuff I sent her way, I'm like, I'm not doing this job. Go ahead. Like anything electric, I send to her.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, she's my electrician.
That's awesome. That's great. I love that. So it's a partnership then. You guys do the jobs together. That's awesome.
The business is actually technically in her name. I got, like child support bull crap. So if I put it in my name, but it's in her name. She does everything I do. She'll hang drywall. She likes to lay tile. So
I love that.
Yeah, she's pretty much a full-time caregiver right now to her parents. Her dad's been sick since the day we met. So.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Can't fix everybody,
Yeah. Sounds like she tries though, because with all the stuff,
Yeah, it all started from smoking and whatnot, and I forget exactly what happened because it's been so long. But they were told say your goodbyes probably I think 4 or 5 times while I was in the hospital, and I was just like, wow. I wouldn't go upstairs until I had to. When we first got together and whatnot, I would go sit in the waiting room and was like, I'm not going up there because I don't want to meet him in that state unless I have to. You know what I mean? So that kind of sealed the deal with her and I, that I would sit in the waiting room 4, 5, 6 hours for her to go up and spend time with her father, and then we would come home and, hang out and whatnot. But
he kept hanging on.
Yeah, he got released and he quit smoking for some years and then he picked it back up, unfortunately. But I'm a smoker, and if I want to freaking smoke, I'm gonna smoke.
No judgment. It's your body. You do you.
I mean, but I don't know. If I was shown pictures where I had 12 tubes coming out of me, that might kick my ass in gear to where I don't smoke no more,
Yeah. But hey, again, it's his body.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy, I guess.
Yeah. He's stuck at home all day, every day. If he wants to smoke, let him smoke.
I just looked at the screen for the first time, and my face is very red. That's weird. I think now's a good time to open it up to the chat. We're about halfway through. So, but before I do, is there anything you want to tell us that we didn't get into, either about yourself or like about your channel? Are you trying to? I mean, now you got quite a bit of content over there. Are you trying to make content? Are you trying to grow the channel? Or are you just doing whatever, or do you have any plans for that?
Mostly for fun,
Okay.
Because, a lot of you guys have asked, oh, show us your tanks and whatnot. We're interested in seeing it and what. I'm not trying to become like the next famous fish tuber.
Gotcha.
If it happened, great. Who wouldn't, go along with that roller coaster? But I could care less. If everyone was like, no, we don't want to watch no more videos, I'm fine not to make no more, Yeah. But my problem is remembering to hit record. Like I set this up. That's a 5-gallon no filter.
Wait, hold on. I want to put you on the big screen again because I want to see that. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
That's a 5-gallon no filter setup, and it's got fish and snails in it, and everything's doing great. I've already had to trim all the plants, and it's only been set up for a week, and I didn't record any of it. So that's my problem, as I don't remember. People want to see this stuff,
Yeah.
So
because like you said, you're not doing it for the people to look at it. You're doing it because you enjoy doing it, and that's the secondary.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I like the video. I don't edit. I might clip some things together, but I don't edit my videos at all. Whatever I shoot is what you're going to see. Like it or not, don't bother me,
I'm with you.
That's
same here. Yeah, I rarely do any kind of editing. I don't have any kind of script. I pick up my phone, I look at the tank, and I go, okay, and then I start talking and just blah, and whatever comes out. Yeah. And I mean, once in a while, I'll start talking and then realize that I'm not making any sense, so I'll just stop and then restart the video. But that's pretty rare. So
I've done that probably more times than any.
What about, like I said, personally? Was there anything that we didn't touch on that you feel is sort of important to share? Like any type of major hardships or anything super positive that's happened in your life? And that's a hard question. I get it. I get that that's hard to think about, but just in case we didn't touch on something.
I just try to go day for day to be a good person. You know, like if you can help someone out, even the smallest thing. Like I bought a guy a Gatorade the other day, and it's like he thought the world of it. It's like just be a good person to the people. You know what I mean? Like live day for day. I will say, ever since I met Jenny, my life has gotten a whole lot better. Haven't been in trouble with the law, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
I was in trouble, minor stuff, driving on a suspended license or something, stupid stuff. But it's been over 13 years, so I think that rolls into the be a better person. Just be kind, do right to others, treat people how you want to be treated. But I mean, just for the most part, it's just me and hanging out.
We have that in common. I mean, the getting into trouble stuff, and then having a significant other that just helps you be a better person. So we're lucky that way, I think, because not everybody gets to find that person.
That's why I said I'm not going anywhere. She keeps me in line. So I'm good.
All right, let's see. Hello, everybody. There's still 66 people watching. We haven't run everybody off. I see. I'm going to start here at Rack Cross because it's always a pleasure to see Rack, but I see Ed and Zenny and Lady R and just everybody. I thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. Thanks again, Mark Strilson, for the super chat. For the member thing earlier. Hold on, I got to look at something else. Why is that not coming up? That's weird.
I'm surprised there's many people. I don't know if they're here for me though.
They definitely are. They definitely are. No, they see enough of me. They've had enough of me. They're always here for the guests every time. Okay, so the very first one I have. Thank you, Zen Ginger, and like she said, please do the @Rico stand so it pops out for me because I just scanned through looking for that. I don't even look at the other comments too much. But the very first one I see,
red question marks. That's what I put in mine.
The what? I'm sorry.
The big red question marks. I always put those
gotcha.
at the beginning.
I've never even looked for those. I will have to pay attention. The very first one I see, and if anybody posted one before that, please repost it because the very first one I got is from Mark Strilson, and he's asking the Myrtle question, which is so difficult. So the Myrtle question, and Myrtle asked that question the very first episode of the Focus On, and then it's been asked in every single one since. So you're either 102 or 103. I forgot which one. So 100 and sometimes it's been asked. So the Myrtle question is, what would I change about you, and what would you change about me?
Yeah, I mean that is such a hard question because you just learned a little bit about me right now, and I've learned a little from watching you on the lives, but to know someone's true history, to be able to have a true valid answer for that. But
it's hard.
Yeah.
I have one though. I have one for you. I don't always, but I have one for you. And mine for you would be that you were able to fix your teeth or feel comfortable with your teeth, or because like you said, it's something that you feel that has held you back and bothered you. So I wish either that you were comfortable with it or that you got them in the way that you'd like them to be. That's what I would change about it.
I kind of have the screw you attitude towards it. I don't truly care what you think. You know what I mean? Because I got my family here with me. You know what I mean? I'm happy. I got a job. I'm alive.
Yeah.
It would be a lot worse. But I do see how people look. So it does get to you a little. But I could care less. But I want it for me. So I can freaking eat an apple. Eat that type of stuff that I can't eat no more. But yeah. One thing about you to change. I would say the ability to travel more.
That would be nice.
I don't know. Yes, I've heard your stories here and there on your lives and whatnot, but everyone's better health and this, that, and third. It's a basic answer. I don't.
I'll take that, bro. Travel would be great. I would love to be able to travel more. I'd love to be able to go to the Aquashellas and the Fishtoberfest out there in the Pacific Northwest and meet people like Kenny and go to the co-op and just all that kind of stuff. So yeah, travel would be nice. So
and that ties into like just have the means to do so, and all that release of stress, knowing that I can take a vacation if I want. It means all your other affairs are online,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next up is Craig. What's up, Craig? What's your dream fish? What fish would you love to have? Maybe that you've never kept, but you'd love to have someday.
I don't even know a lot of other fish than what I have in my tanks. I just got into community fish not too long ago. I've always kept the Imbunas and the jacks, like I mentioned earlier. But a dream fish, I don't know. I like monster fish. So
do you?
Yeah, I'm truly like deep down. I miss my cichlids. I think something along the lines of like the red tails or the arowanas, something monstrous like that would be amazing. I have a 15,000 gallon pool that I've been trying to the family to let me have. So, I do have the space for a monster fish. But yeah, I think red-tailed cats, something like that, just to have a true habitat for them. That would be cool.
Gotcha. Next up is from Lady R, and she would like to know, and hi, everybody. Hello again. If you were to specialize in animal rescue, what animals would you specialize rehabilitating?
Dogs.
Dogs. Good man. Definitely a dog person.
Yeah. I tolerate the cats. They're not allowed in my room. I don't like them being in my room. I don't like cats. It's not that I don't like cats. I don't like the box. I don't like the meowing all the time. Dogs, this one hasn't made a peep since I've started this live stream. Hasn't peeped at me. If a cat was here, it wouldn't leave me alone.
Ed.
Yeah.
Hi, Ed.
We love you, Ed.
We love you, Ed.
But yeah, I'm not a cat.
I do. We had a cat for 20 years, and I had cats when I was a kid. I like cats. It's just I like dogs more. That's all. I just
I like those big cats. I think Joey, the DIY guy, he has those two big cats. They're like, a foot and a half tall.
I don't even know what he's got. I haven't watched any of his stuff in so long, but I haven't seen him.
I know people in chat because I've mentioned this before, and someone in chat has said the name of these cats.
Do they have tufted ears?
Yeah, and they got those
Maine
spots.
Coon.
Yeah.
Maine Coons?
Yep. Now,
okay.
I would get one of those cats.
That's what ours that we had, Ubuntu, he was half, or he had some Maine Coon in him because they oftentimes have 6 toes.
Yeah.
And they have the tufted ears, and they have a lot of the fur between the toes. There are a lot of, so they're used to walking like in the snow and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're super quiet. Like all cats are quiet when they walk, but those can like super creep.
Not all cats. Did you ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Did you ever watch that show?
No.
Oh, they had kitten mittens, and never mind. We won't get into it. What next one up is, and Patty just said Nathan is it's no question, but she just says Nathan is a sweetheart. It's obvious with all the animal rescue and love. So just a comment. Next up is Jay, one of your Floridians, and he would like to know what's your favorite genre of books, movies, TV. Do you like to read? Do you watch movies and TV very often?
Yeah, I find myself watching a lot of like Disney and Pixar.
Yeah.
But, for books, I honestly I don't read a lot, but if I was to pick a book and sit down and read, it's going to be a Western.
Okay. And do you know any writers that you really like from the Westerns? Okay.
No.
I haven't read any Westerns in forever. When I was a kid, I read Louis L'Amour and there was I can't even remember all the different writers, but hundreds of them.
Yeah, so I couldn't tell you the last time I read a book. Well, I could tell you what book I read. It was Holes. It was there's a Disney movie or some movie about it. Kids digging holes. That was the last book I read. and I was in a not so good place when I read it.
Understood. Shia LaBeouf was in the movie, right? Wasn't he in the movie? I think.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
LaBeouf.
But yeah, I like westerns. I read a lot of westerns in that same facility.
Do you like Western movies as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Love Westerns. Yeah. They're like my comfort food. Oh, there was a super chat. It's from our buddy Eric Wyrock. Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you so much.
Send me my package, buddy.
Yeah, send his package. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on right now there at home. So,
I gotta wait next 10 working months is when he said he'll send it.
10 working months?
Yep.
10 working months.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Eric would say. Hopefully we're still going to get to see him at the Clash. I know he's got a lot going on there. But I'm hoping that we still get to see him. Next up is Mountain Greenery, and she asks this question all the time. Could you please ask Nathan if he could live in any one of his aquariums, which one would it be and why? So you're like either a person or maybe one of the fish or whatever. Maybe you're a person that just shrunken down in size, and you're able to breathe underwater.
With the current setups, it's going to be the 40 breeder. Right now it holds CPDs and...
Let's put you back on the big screen. And Chattanooga just gave us a $5 super chat too. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, there's a glare from the computer. But
yeah, that's okay. We can
got a pretty big piece there. Look at there you go. So
that's
that piece of driftwood goes all the way across it.
That's a chunk.
Yeah, I got that for free. That's a piece of big old cypress.
If you made it to the Clash, you could get stuff like that free too. Because I know this guy, he brings a bunch of driftwood.
Yeah, but
I've got some big pieces too. Like this year, I've got some. One piece I have is you've got to have a massive tank.
Yeah,
it's not going to fit in anything because it's probably 3 foot tall, but the end of it is probably 3 foot around, and it's just amazing. It's a great piece of wood.
I've seen that video that you did showing it all on the table, and there was that one piece. I made the comment about it. It would be great to put as a background. It was perfect, like for like a 40 breeder, and then put tons of moss on it because it. And it had like the vines and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Great, like fake background, but real.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just was looking at it again today. It's so cool. I'm almost thinking about keeping it, but I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it to the Clash.
I would live in the 40 breeder probably. It's my favorite setup. Ever since I got the 40 and redid it, it's been my favorent tank.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
it is a cool looking tank.
It came with fish and whatnot, so I had to rehome those fish because I didn't want the fish. Angelfish. Yeah, I had angelfish and some gouramis and a common pleco, which I'm like, now I'm stuck with another common pleco, But the guy was like, yeah, it's got A, B, and C in there. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Heck yeah, I'll take that. And when I got to his house, I'm like, that's not A, B, or C.
Oh, yeah.
They're angelfish, and those are gouramis, not Denison barbs or,
yeah.
I was stoked. I was searching. I'm like, you have them. I was like, those are beautiful fish. I can't believe I'm getting them. And it was 2 gouramis. Like,
it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I mean, they don't look, the body shape is totally wrong. Yeah. I love the Denison barbs. They're right up there. Sometimes they're my favorite fish. Sometimes the Bozeman Eye Rainbow are my favorites. They go back and forth.
Yeah.
They're up there. They're tied for my favorite. I have one of them that just has so much green on them all the time.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, next one. Let's see. Scrolling down, I see Brother Dan. Again, hello everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Let's see. We got plenty of time. Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. We're not.
Yeah, appreciate all of you.
So next one is from our buddy Mark, asking for Bunny. Would you rather be invisible or be able to fly?
Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody said, who was it? One person did say they wanted to be invisible, and I don't remember who it was now, but only one. Everybody else said fly.
If you're invisible, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, you're invisible. But you're stuck on Earth.
What are you going to do?
it so much more because I could fly and be like, "Hi, you can't get me." You know, like
if you're invisible, I feel like there's not much good you could do with that.
Yeah, you would get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, if you could fly, you could do good things. You could save lives. But if you're invisible, I don't know what you would be able to do that's good for other people or for, just, I'm always thinking that way, I guess. Next up is Coral. And hi, Stephen. Coral says, what is Nathan's favorite fish to eat? And would you keep them in the aquarium?
Yeah, I would if the wife would let me. It's bass, largemouth bass.
How big do those get? What's the biggest? What's the average?
I caught a 10-plus pounder in Lake Placid, Florida. It's on my Instagram. I mean, the thing was massive. I couldn't even get the whole fish in the picture. And like, you know how people are like, "Oh, look how big my fish is." No, you can see in the photo, my arms are bent and I'm holding the fish here, and it would
struggling.
It would not fit in frame. So they can get pretty big.
So you'd have to have a good sized tank, but they are beautiful fish, and they are delicious too. It'd be hard to keep it though,
See,
as a pet.
With the cichlids and whatnot, I love the aggression. That's a part of why I love cichlids. You can drop a little minnow in there and they just devour it. That's wow, yeah. Show me who's boss, like I love that. So a bass is right up there with it, but I can drop in bigger fish for it to eat.
Okay, it jumped on me, so I got to get back up to it. There we go, right there. And thanks, Mark, for the question. Coral, we got Coral's question. Next up is Amisa. Do you have a favorite album or soundtrack or favorite type of music too? Are you a big music fan at all, really? Do you?
Not really. I don't even play music on my phone when I'm doing yard work. I used to be, but I was really into like hip hop, rap, stuff like that. When I was growing up in my early teens, late teens, it was a lot of like gangsters here in Naples, Florida. I mean, that's all there was is hip hop and rap going around. That's all you heard when you're driving down the streets and whatnot. There was the big car scene back then with the loudspeakers and all that stuff, and I was into it. So I listened to a lot of that. Didn't really listen to much Pink Floyd or nothing like that. I know them. I know their songs. I wouldn't go and put it on by choice back in the day, but now that I'm getting older, I realize how stupid I was. And I should have been listening to the good music, Pink Floyd, the Beatles, all that stuff.
Yeah, but if you enjoy it, I mean, what's good music? Nobody can say what's good music.
Because nowadays, like, rap is so stupid. It's all just mumble jumble,
I honestly don't know much of it. I have tried to like it because, I like to try, all different kinds of music. And I've had friends that are really into it,
They're going like
what's that?
This is all they do. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, drums. Okay, beep, 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 beep. And then it's the same as the next person, like at least with the good rock and roll and stuff, there's meaning behind the songs. I'm learning that more and more now the older I get,
Gotcha. Well, I definitely like, I love Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd's one of my favorite bands, but definitely love that kind of music. But I try to listen to all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Really try to.
Back in the day, Tupac, Biggie Smalls, that type of rap I'm okay with, but this new age stuff, I'm not a fan.
See, I wouldn't even know. I couldn't even tell you a single artist. And it's nothing against those artists. I do think it takes talent. I think it's definitely music. It takes talent and skill to create. It's just not for me. I've tried.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Silver Creek Tomatillo. He says, if you could be any type of life living within your aquarium or any body of water, what would you be? So plant, snail, shrimp, fish. If you could be anything.
Yeah, I'd be a fish.
What kind of fish specifically?
Largemouth bass.
Yeah, largemouth.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I love everything about largemouth.
Okay. All right, we got that. Next up is Big Cat. And again, this is another one of those questions that's been asked. It hasn't been forever, but Big Cat, since Big Cat's been around, he's asked this question, and there's a bunch of those now. They're part of the show. Like it's every single show, these questions come out from the chat, and I absolutely love it. I just love this. But he wants to know if you believe in aliens.
I wouldn't say I believe in aliens, but I do believe there is something. I don't know if I would say it was an alien or not, but I don't think we're alone.
Gotcha. So do you think there's life on other planets?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I just the possibility.
Whether
it's just got
human or alien, maybe not. It might be plants, but I do think there is something out there other than Earth that's holding life.
Yeah. Next up is Dapper Dennis, and Dennis wants to know: is there a person from history that you would like to meet?
I don't know much about history, to be honest. Like, never did well in school. Didn't pay much attention and whatnot, but I don't know. I think it would be cool to go back to like the Roman days and meet, meet some of them, from that.
Well,
era.
that was the second part. He always asks. That's a two-parter, and the second part was: is there an era within history that you would, in Roman times, you'd like to go back?
Someone like that's big, king or queen, whatever, back in the Roman days. I think that would be pretty cool.
Gotcha. Okay. Bex says it doesn't have a question, but she said, people who don't like cats make me question them, but Nathan's awesome, so I'll make an exception. See, you didn't say you didn't like cats. You just said you like the dogs more. That's,
He was actually the first person I ever watched in the Fish Fam.
Bex was?
Yep.
That's a good place to start.
I believe it was. I don't know if the person was on Fish Fam, but I was talking with Bunny Viper in chat, and she said, you need to come watch Bex. And that was actually the true first person I went to in Fish Fam knowing of Fish Fam.
Gotcha.
And that's when I was hooked, when I met everybody.
But you were talking to Bunny Viper first, you said?
Yeah, so I had to be on someone else's stream, but I wasn't really paying mind. I don't even know how I got there.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember talking with Bunny, and she kept she was selling Fish Fam like no tomorrow. So I went and joined Bex Live, I think it was. And I've been here ever since.
I know I started seeing you around a few months before the Fish Fam Christmas. So maybe October of last year?
It was either right after or right before Thanksgiving. So,
yeah. Okay. Ed said, I'm going to leave now and leave my cats alone and pet my cats alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave now and pet my cats alone. Sorry, Ed. Regina. Hi, Regina. Regina said, and I just happened to see this. I think Joey has Bengals. Spotted cats look like wild cats. Not 100% sure, though. Okay. Different types. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
He's mentioned it a couple times, but I don't pay mind.
Okay. Next.
Fish.
Next up is Eric. And he wants to know and this is his question he's always asking, what's your favorite sandwich? And he said, soon.
Favorite sandwich? I don't really eat them too much anymore because it's hard to eat them. But a good BLT.
Okay.
So you can go wrong with a BLT, but I mean, you have to have bacon. Not a few strips. It needs to be bacon.
And what is it? Mayonnaise, or what else do you put on it for like?
Yeah. So mayonnaise, heavy mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and then bacon. But I like it baked. I don't like it pan fried. I get into
okay.
Preference with eating. I don't have any of the back teeth, so I can't really chew crunchy stuff too well. So baking it keeps it more like pliable, I guess you could say.
Gotcha. And then that's where Ed gave us the $5 super chat after we insulted him and Nico. All right, next one up is Jay, Nano Aquarium Guy, another one of your Floridians. Favorite YouTuber outside of Fish Fam or aquarium related, so not fishy related at all.
I would say I have two. One is Larson Farms. He's a farmer in Minnesota. Family farm. They do soybeans and corn, stuff like that. And then another guy named Matt Carricker, Demolition Ranch or Off the Ranch is his other channel. He has 3 channels, actually. One's a gun channel that I watch occasionally, but not really. The other one's called Off the Ranch, which is just a vlog channel where he shows whatever he's doing that day, whether it's mowing the grass or building a mansion. He did a series, an abandoned mansion on YouTube that was like so popular. I mean, it's got so many views, but he bought an abandoned mansion and rebuilt it, and he did it all on YouTube. So I would say those are the two.
Do you ever watch Chris Biggs?
I don't believe so.
Chris has a great channel. He's very knowledgeable about fish keeping and about a lot of other stuff too. He keeps isopods and some arachnids and all kinds of different things. I mean, he's been in some of the like tropical fish hobbyists and stuff like that. He's been in, but and a super nice guy. He's been on the Focus On with us, and a lot of the people have got to meet him at different events and things. He goes to a lot of the events and talks, but he has a farm in Canada, and he just split off that second part from his fishy channel to talk just about the ranch. It's something I always forget the name of it. It's like the biggest small ranch or Biggie's small ranch, or because his name is Biggs, right? Small ranch. I can't remember the name, but it sounds like that channel would be right up your alley as well, because he talks about all the different animals they have, plus the hardships of living in a very cold part of Canada.
I think I've seen that before, though. I think I've came across his channel.
Saskatchewan, Alberta. I can't remember where he's at.
Yeah, I'm gonna write this in YouTube search. That way, I could go back to it and find him.
You'll like him. You'll like him.
Yeah. I really truly enjoy the farming videos. Like, it kind of reminds me of back home. My uncle used to farm corn. My aunt lived around a massive cornfield that my family farmed. We had the horses, we had the pigs, so chickens, you name it. So kind of watching the farm videos brings me back to my childhood in a sense.
Gotcha.
I love that.
Do you ever watch like the bushcraft stuff where people go out in the middle of the woods and build like a little shelter and stuff? Those things I absolutely love. For you, just when you were talking right now, made me think of that, because for the same reason, I used to love to just go, take my kayak and go back and hike. Okay. Go back and put up my hammock right over here.
Yeah.
Nobody can get to you, because it's miles away from any roads. It's just, you have to get there by paddling to it or a small boat.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love the idea of being able just to go out in the woods, especially when it's cold, and build a shelter and stay in it, for the winter. I love that idea.
You should check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel.
That sounds familiar. I think I've seen
his little boys. They go camping all over the world, but a lot of it is in Alaska. And he goes out there with like his little pack, and some food, obviously, but nothing else. No tent, no sleeping bag, no nothing. And he'll dig 10 feet down in the snow and show you how to survive.
Yeah. Does he have glasses?
Cool.
Does he wear glasses?
Yes.
I think I've seen that. It sounds really familiar.
Yeah, he's got 3 boys: Tommy, Nathan. I forget the other one.
That's right up my alley, though. Love that stuff. All right, let's see. Next one is and I just happen to see this too. I'm glad that every once in a while you guys need to do the at Rico Stan, even if it's not a question. Because I'm skipping so many great comments, like this one from Bex. Hey, I recognize some of that art on the wall. You've got some of her art up there.
Yeah, there's 2 pieces.
Wait, let me put you on the big screen again.
I think the third one that I'm supposed to be receiving from an Mr. Y Rock is another Bex. But yeah, the Hillstream Loach, which I won from, I don't remember. I know I won one from Depths Unknown. He did a giveaway, and I forget where the other one came from. Oh, Jenny won it. My wife won that on Fish Miss.
Oh, okay. Yep. I do remember her winning something from it. Yeah.
I think I won the Hillstream Loach. She won the Angel print, and then that's just a Molly from a magazine that I that's like all these little pieces are from an aquarium magazine.
Gotcha. Which one do you like to read?
None
these days?
No, I just wanted the pictures.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I like Amazonas now. I love Tropical Fish Hobbyist.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I got it when it was like the little Reader's Digest version of it. But I did when I came back to fish keeping. I got that magazine again, and I was like, eh. And then I got Amazonas magazine, and I like it so much more. It is just it's a great magazine.
If I could afford to keep up with a subscription to something like that, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
These one of the fish shops that I go to have them on the counter, and you can just take them.
Oh, that free one. The I forgot what it's called. It's
just Aquarium Hobbyist magazine.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the covers over there on that wall.
Let's see. We've got a 2-in-1 from Zenny. And again, if I missed your question, people, please put it in there. Re-put it in there. Please re-ask it. Zenny would like to know. She's got 2 of them though. So this one's hard. This one's always hard. Every single time she asks, I have a hard time with it. So the rest of your ideal life, what would you love your life to be like, the rest of it, but only in 5 words? It's so hard. It's such a difficult question. It's a great question, but it's very difficult. Peaceful. 5 words.
So peaceful, honorable, blessed. Not big on religion, but yeah, I wouldn't mind being blessed in every aspect of the word. So what do we got?
Got 2 more.
The wife's in the bathroom saying words. Exciting. Adventurous. Chill.
Okay.
Just relaxation.
Comfortable.
Yeah. Comfortable.
That's the one. Comfort is very important to me these days. So there's a second. She put 2 questions in one, and the other part is your last meal. Anything you want, what would be on that plate for your very last meal?
Number 1.
You're able to eat everything too. You're no issues. You can eat anything. What is it going to be?
My first item that I would choose is shepherd's pie.
Okay.
But true shepherd's pie. I want a real shepherd's pie.
Flaky crust.
Yeah. The minced meat, not just ground meat. I want it minced, probably all kinds of crab legs. Definitely get a bunch of crab legs. A bunch of banana pudding.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have banana pudding.
All right. We're sharing our last meal together.
Yeah. I wouldn't go crazy, but I would just get a couple things that I liked, I want the whole shepherd's pie, the whole 12x9 casserole dish of it. I want a bunch of crab legs and some banana pudding. Yeah. I actually got a little thing of banana pudding from Walmart. It's actually really good banana pudding. but it came in like a little single serve little cup. And I picked up some flowers for the missus just because I was there, some just because flowers. And I had it all set up for her little banana pudding and the flowers, and she got super excited. She's like, "We can share that." I took 2 little bites in the middle of the night. I woke up, it's gone.
I love banana pudding. Absolutely love it.
I like it with fresh vanilla wafers crumbled.
Yes.
I like them crumbled, not whole.
Oh, okay. I put them in whole, but put them in whole.
I don't like them getting soft. Like I'll eat it, but I'd rather them be like almost like the crust.
Gotcha. Okay. So like a banana cream pie, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coro dropping his member. He's been a member for 4 months. Thanks for being a member. I appreciate that. Chattanooga Ed with a question. Thanks, Ed. If you missed lunch, which fish would you eat in your fish room?
Well, I've heard
what's going to make the best meal?
I've heard common plecos are pretty good. They're hard to get into from what I've been told, but that's the only one that really has any meat on them.
They do, right? Wherever they do eat them regularly. Is it Peru? I can't remember where.
Wherever Corey went collecting in the Amazon.
So that was Peru, right? Northern part, I thought.
Yeah. Because I remember they had a massive one. It was like almost 3 feet long. And they were like, "Yeah, we're going to cook them." And I'm like, "What?" That's the first time I ever heard of that. Yeah. And then ever since then, I've seen some other people say that they are delicious. And I have 2 of them.
I wish we would eat them more often.
Oh, they are down here in the canal. Yeah. I can walk to the end of my road in the canal, and it's plastered with them. There's big white rocks like the ones I have in the tank, like the coral rock, and they're just plastered with plecos.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I've actually seen videos underwater where people are, they're swimming along with it, and there's just, hundreds and hundreds of them, big size too.
Yeah, I would say in Naples, Florida alone, there's millions of them.
See, and who is it? Is it, I can't remember who it is, but one of the places takes the eggs and then turns around and sells them into the hobby. So I guess in some way that's a little bit of a good thing, because at least those eggs aren't, they're taking the eggs from the wild.
Okay.
But still, that's the fish that I wouldn't like to see gone.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I stupidly bought one. I bought a high fin from PetSmart when I first got back into the hobby, but I was still at that point of I don't care. I want what I want, and I want that because it's pretty. And I didn't know. When I got back into the hobby, I didn't know anything about the cycle or nothing. I've always had fish, treated the water, put my fish in. I never added beneficial bacteria, nothing. But being cichlids and the bigger cichlids, the mediums, they're more tolerable to that type of environment. You can get away with a lot more. And when I got back into it, I didn't get away with it anymore.
Gotcha.
So it made us do the research and go to these fish-only shops and say, what's going on? And then they schooled us on the cycle. It was cool. The owner sat with us for like 30 minutes and went over the entire the cycle of the aquarium and what we need to do to get ours back to where it needs to be and whatnot. And that kind of sold us on going to his shop, that he took that time. I mean, he had a store full of people. He could have been like, I don't have time to go through this right now, you know, customers. But no, he sat there with us for 30 minutes talking to us. So
do you remember the name of that store?
It's called Boardroom Aquatics.
Boardroom Aquatics?
Yep.
Okay. If any of the mods, do they have any online presence at all? Do they have a web page or anything? Or
I know they have a site that you can look at online. I don't know anything else about them.
Okay.
They're a good store. They care about their fish. They're mostly saltwater. I'll say they're heavier towards salt, but they got a pretty good selection of freshwater fish and plants.
I love that story. I love that he sat with you and actually took the time to. And there's a place. You just reminded me. it's not that far away from me at all. It's probably 5-10 minute drive. I believe it's only salt though. I haven't really looked.
Yeah.
I need to go in there. I need to go in there and see because it could have more. I have no idea. I need to go in there.
There's so many saltwater shops here. There's only a few fresh.
Yeah, it seems like it's mostly salt.
Yeah. So sometimes we're forced to go to Petco or PetSmart, and it's like,
yeah.
They're cheap and it's always there. Yes, you're going to have neon tetras all the time, but I'd rather spend 50 cents a fish more and make the drive, 30, 45 minutes up the road.
Yeah. We have no place. And the one place we did have shut down, it was a really good place. It was huge. It was massive, but I think he got in over his head because he opened up a new one in a warehouse that was just, and he went out of business. So there's really not much close to us at all.
Yeah.
The next question is aquatic moose, and it's good to see a moose. I did see that your job changed, so you can't hang out as much, but it's good to see you. Favorite substrate? What do you like to put in your tanks? It looks like they're pretty good size, especially the 40 breeder. Looks like it's a pretty deep one.
Yeah.
What do you like to put in them? Is it gravel or what do you?
Standard gravel. But in both of these, I think it's just these two. The 40, the 55, and the 50 have cichlid sand capped with gravel.
Cichlid sand? I don't know what that is. That's what it's called?
Yeah. So the 20 breeder.
Here, let me put you.
I don't know if you can see the white and black of that sand.
Yeah.
So that's the Carib Sea.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Now I know what that is. I just don't think I've either remembered hearing it called cichlid sand, or is that a brand name from them?
Yeah, it's actually the mix. It says it's for cichlids.
Oh, okay. But I've never really kept. I mean, I have crebensis, but I don't really have any, any of the cichlids.
And that's all I had was cichlids, the ambunas and whatnot. I didn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, the wife had mollies in the 20-gallon, but I didn't want no part of that. It was all about cichlids.
Why didn't you want anything to do with the mollies? They just weren't as pretty. They weren't as aggressive. They weren't.
Yeah, they were aggressive, and my mom's always had cichlids, always Mbuna and the Jack Dempseys and convicts. Convicts is actually like one of my favorite aquarium fish.
Really?
Yeah. I hate that they breed like they do.
Yeah.
And I had my own issues with them, breeding, because I've had male and females together. And I had hundreds and hundreds of babies. But I love that fish.
Gotcha.
Like Kenny E. He'll never get rid of his convicts,
The second part of Moose's question was favorite cleanup crew member.
Corridors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like corridors too.
Yeah. They do the best for me. Like I have bristlenose. I mean, obviously the common pleco, he eats his, worth in weight, but the Corys keep it pretty clean.
I do like Corys.
You can see them. Like the bristlenose, they're good, but you don't ever see them unless the lights are off. Corys come out and say hi and.
Okay, next one. I had to scroll very far down to get to the next one. Next one is Jenna P. Hi, Jenna. She wants to know. So she has a Freaky Friday question where two people switch bodies in the fish fam. Who would you switch?
They're not really active in the fish fam, like on doing lives and stuff like this. But I think Corey and Dan would be a cool switch. Maybe Dan will get back into plants. And then maybe Corey will start shipping fish.
Gotcha. Okay.
Both worlds, that would be maybe some positivity for the hobby could come from them two switching.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. That's a good one. I'd like to see that, and it'd be fun for them. It'd be fun for them to do a live stream together.
Yeah.
As that switch, that would be a lot of fun. I like both those guys a lot. I'm a fan of Dan's fish for sure, and of course Corey is a great guy and has done a lot for the community and for the hobby. And I'll say it to your face.
Yeah, that actually might have been where I was talking to Bunny, was Corey, because Corey was one of the first channels I found on YouTube in the fish community when I got back into the hobby.
Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of. It's definitely true for myself, them, and of course KG Tropicals, John and Lisa. You know, those two were definitely among the first for sure, and I think that's true and a lot of people have said that. You know, those were the sort of entry into the fish family. Yeah. Okay, next up is Lady Rorschach.
Plants coming soon, hopefully.
What's your favorite baked good? Cake, pie, cookies? What is it?
I'm going to go with cookies. Oatmeal raisin.
All right. So thanks everybody for joining us. And we'll see you said the one word that I don't mind oatmeal cookies. I like oatmeal cookies. I just cannot do raisins. Yeah, I can't do raisins. All right. It jumped again. I take enough sugar with my soda intake. I can knock down a 12-pack of Mountain Dew in a day, no problem. So I don't really indulge in the sweets, the cookies and the cakes. That's enough sugar, yeah.
I mean, a birthday, like Kenny's birthday not too long ago, I ate cake because I'm not going to not be included, and not include myself in that with the celebration. But yeah, I wouldn't go and buy a piece of cake. But if I do, cheesecake, I love cheesecake.
Ooh, yeah. that's any kind of baked goods. I am a big fan of baked goods. And I just drink water almost all the time, and I drink a ton of it. Like you can see, this is a big cup, and this is my third one of these today. So,
this is like my 7th can of soda.
Yeah, see, I can't. I used to drink a lot of soda, but even the bubbles today I can't do. Next one is from Ed. Again, thank you, Ed. Thank you for the second question. So, this is a good question.
Ed, we like cats.
Jeez. He's making you pay for that about the cats. He wants to know if you'd rather be bald for the rest of your life or wear high heels for the rest of your life.
Bald.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the high heels because I think they make my ass look amazing.
I used to shave my head, so it doesn't. Being bald wouldn't bother me.
I did it once. And Ed's one of the few people that have seen the video. I think Skipper saw it too. I can't remember who else. Ed saw it. Not too many. I haven't showed too many people. As soon as I did it, I was like, oh, what have I done? It was wrong. It was right after I retired. I just thought we're going to do a change. And my hair was about as long as it is now. Oh, wow. And I took the trimmers, and then I took a razor and shaved it. And I even shaved most of my beard off. I had a goatee.
It's easier and faster to cut my own hair, like shave it off. Now Jenny cuts my hair, so I grow it out, and I mean it's a few inches, but nothing crazy.
I don't cut it. I haven't had a haircut in. Actually, my daughter every once in a while will give it just a little bit of a clipping.
I'll spend the summer down here working outside. You'll cut it.
Oh, I just wear the ponytail. The ponytail. When I did construction too, I ponytail, and when I was a young man, and that was Arizona. So
yeah.
Let's see. They have been above 100 degrees for 10 days in Phoenix. Wow. And I saw Mexicali came in, Jorge High, where he lives in Yuma, oftentimes is even hotter. So I wonder what it's been like there. He was up with Dr. A and Skipper on that stream a little bit ago. Coral wants to know if you could attempt any world record. Assume you got sponsored. You don't have to worry about anything until it's done. What would you attempt? A world record.
Never really thought about that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know. That's a hard one. We may have to come back to that one.
How about most acres of lawn mowed in a 12-hour period? Or something?
With a push mower. That's all I use. I'm push mow everything.
Yeah.
Yep. In my opinion, it's a healthier lawn. You don't got the tires ripping up grass, and you don't see the tracks from the mower. I have one client that their yard, it goes like this because the guy used his riding mower in the same direction every single time.
Oh yeah.
So every
Yeah.
time when I go, my mower is going like I'm going over speed bumps, and it's like it's not healthy for your yard.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. Yeah, I always do too. I can't do the push mower, so the rider is a heaven send for me.
Yeah, mine's self-propelled; it drives itself, but you still have
Still,
to walk with it.
yeah,
But,
and the rider is what is it, a 42-inch deck? It's a good sized deck, so compared to a push, it takes a lot less to do too.
if I could afford it, I would buy one. Absolutely, just because it is Florida and it takes me 4 or 5 hours to do 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, yeah.
Smaller, thankfully, but it's so hot out, it takes you a little bit longer.
You like you said, you do it. You got to mix it up and cut it different directions. And
Yeah.
we're gonna get to something here in just a second. Zen Ginger said the Little Biggs Farm, and I think she got that. That's the name of Chris Biggs. That's his second channel. Just Chris Biggs is his main one, but he has the Little Biggs Farm. And Chattanooga Ed said, "I bet Rico goes high heels." See, Ed knows me.
We might have to come back on to the world record thing because that's a really good question.
Think about it. It. Okay, scrolling down some more. Hello to everybody that's come in just recently. Appreciate it. We still got 50 people hanging out with us, so thank you guys. Melvin came in. Hi, Melvin. Let's see. Oh, there's Mikey B. What's up, Mike? And this is his question he's been asking a lot. So he wants to know if you could have invented something that's already out there, something that's already been invented, but you could have been the person that brought this to humanity, what would it be?
Well, the one thing that I know that did very well is the cigarette counter.
The cigarette what?
Counter. It counts out 20 cigarettes and puts them in the pack.
Oh, gotcha. Piece of machinery that, okay.
Yeah, I know the person now. It's not for a good thing. Obviously, the cigarettes and smoking is bad, but I know the person's daughter that invented that. Like I know the daughter of that person, and they're doing pretty well for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody, who was it? Was it Coro? Who was it? No, I forgot. Maybe it was Mike. Might have been Mike. Yeah, it was Mike from All Things Fish. He said electricity, and I like that answer. Yeah, I mean that's amazing.
I guess I don't know if it's. She says it was her father that invented it. It could be grandfather, but I'm sure it's been reinvented over the years because I would imagine the cigarette counter has been around for quite some time.
Yeah, but it might have unfortunately revolutionized the hobby.
Yeah, it could be
the hobby. Hobby, yeah, I said.
It could be today's what they use today. But yeah, they're doing pretty well. I worked for her doing the special events.
Oh, gotcha. She was one of your clients. Okay, let's see. Brother Dan's got to go. Thanks for hanging out. I'm scrolling down. I think we're getting towards the end. Oh, here we go. And what time is it? Yep, we got about 10 minutes left. Okay. Kyle wants to know if you weren't doing what you're doing for a living, what would you be doing?
I would like to be doing something in the animal world now that my eyes have been open to, the tragedy of what goes on behind the scenes and whatnot. And I think that would be pretty fun and be doing something good,
Yeah, something like a rescue or something like that.
Yeah. Jenny's dream, which has really became a dream for me as well, is to own either a bunch of duplexes or houses or an apartment complex, a small one, but we rent to only people that have dogs. Oh, you have a Chihuahua? No, thank you. Oh, you have a pit bull or a bull mastiff? These massive dogs. Yeah, you're welcome. Come on in. Or we would rent to Chihuahua owners as well, or cat people. But the big dogs get these bad raps. Yes, you are welcome here. Please come live with us. that's a dream that she's always had for a very long time. Like, I got bit all the way across my face by a golden retriever. I would never, ever think of one of my dogs would ever bite me in the face. I mean, I stick my face down there next to the food bowl. They just keep on eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not the dog.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I know that pit bulls especially do get that bad rap, but I don't think there's any bad dogs. I just think they're bad owners and bad, I think really, some dogs are bred for specific things, but still, let's see. Next up for Mikey B again is, would you still want to be in the fish keeping hobby if someone else always did all your tank maintenance for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. I was like, the way you put it, Mike, made it sound like, would you still want to be like? I would even more want to be. I'd have more tanks if somebody was doing the maintenance. Now, that doesn't mean. I mean, I would love to still do maintenance. I would still love to put my hands in the tanks and do stuff, but knowing that, and especially it had to be somebody that I would trust that would know what they're doing, right?
Yeah, you would have to have the credentials to be putting your hands in my aquarium.
Okay.
I mean, I do love that part of the hobby. I am very hands-on with my aquariums. I'm always in them,
Yeah.
Whether it's siphoning out pleco poop or, rearranging a plant or a rock or something. I'm in at least a tank a day doing something.
I don't know if I am quite often. I mean, I do my water changes. I mess around with stuff, but I don't know. I guess some days go by when I don't mess with them, even though I'm right here in the room with them and I have the time. I mean, I'm always looking at them.
Yeah.
Always, but I don't know that I always. Okay. A few minutes left here. Zenny wants to know if we'd rather mow 1,000 lawns in August or do 1,000 water changes in February.
I'd probably go with the lawns.
1,000 lawns in August?
Yeah. Means I'm getting paid.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. Let's see. Nobody invented electricity. I see your point. Yeah. He meant the use of electricity. That's what he meant it. Chihuahuas aren't dogs; they are evil incarnate. Hey, our little 11 is a great dog. She's very loving. She gets excited, but she doesn't she doesn't have that small dog energy most of the time.
My grandpa had like a min pin type dog.
What is it?
My grandpa, he had a min pin, the miniature pincher.
Oh, okay.
Type of dog. It was a little fatter. Maybe he just overfed it. I don't know. Even the family had to walk out of his house backwards, or else you were getting bit.
Really?
Yeah. You could come hang out. You could be hanging out like this, not caring. But as soon as you said, okay, goodbye, you had to walk out backwards.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's something that needs to be, nipped in the bud. That needs to be stopped. I just, our dogs get away with a lot, so I can't say anything.
Yeah. We used to play a game who could get out of the house without getting bit.
Jesus, that's not good. Okay. We got, before I get to Mike's question, I want to just mention, so let me think about this. Pile Aquatics is going to be joining us, but it's Saturday, right, Pile? I saw Pile come in. I think it's next Saturday. Did I schedule anybody for Tuesday? I don't think I have anybody scheduled for this Tuesday yet, so I'll be reaching out to somebody for that. Right, Pile? We talked about it. I have to look at the email. I think it's next Saturday for Pile. But I still need more people, though, for the focus on. So if anybody would like to come up and have a conversation with me, my email is at the top of the screen, way up there, rico@ricostan.com. Please shoot me an email. Again, it doesn't matter. Channel size has nothing to do with it. as long as you are hanging out with us in these live streams, you're a part of our community. I would like to interview you, so please send me an email and join the fun. I've only done 103, and I bet I've got about 903 to go.
Is it 103 or is it 102? Because
I don't know.
Was 100. No, I think Mark was the 100.
Yeah, so you're 102.
Yeah, and then
because Mike was 101. You're right. Mike, All Things Fish, was 101.
Yeah. And then you did Barbara, no? Barbara Jackson?
She was a while ago.
Okay. I was looking at when I was, because I hadn't seen anything or didn't see no emails from you, so I got onto your page to see, and I was like, oh, hers was the first video that showed up.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I thought she did it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Pile is next Saturday. Thank you. And Maritza's going to be coming up. Yes. But I'd love to interview just about everybody in our community. There's very, very few people that I don't want to have a conversation with. So please shoot me an email. I would love to add you to the list. Like I said, I'm not even a quarter of the way through our community. So many people like that Patty who will never come up. And a few others like Zen Ginger who will probably never let me interview her. And, there's a few others. Okay. Next up was Mikey B's question again. Number 3 for Mikey. Thank you, Mike. I do appreciate you asking the questions. Yeah. What's the biggest single factor that keeps your interest in the hobby?
Well, now it's keeping all the fish that I never knew existed. So I am learning new stuff with every fish I get. And I'm actually having some of them breed. So there's a whole nother love for the hobby now that I knew nothing about a handful of months ago.
So and a lot of that, does it come from the community, from watching all these live streams and
keeping community fish even now?
Yeah.
I mean, I had my cichlids breeding. Like, I didn't do nothing to get them to breed other than keep a healthy tank. But I didn't be like, okay, you guys are going to go over here and breed for me, just let him do it. But now I'm playing, magical tanks and moving fish to here and there and saying, okay, you guys go over here and please make some babies, and learning all that type of stuff is really cool.
Gotcha. Okay. Couple minutes left. And again, it's Saturday night. There's still some streams coming up. You can look at fishfam.link and see all the other streams coming up still tonight. So still quite a few good streams today. Todd wants to know, he doesn't have a question. Just want to say that Nathan is killing it. He's got a very interesting story and seems natural on the camera.
Thank you.
See, now do you still feel nervous?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
My heart's still pumping.
Well, we're almost through it, man. We're almost through it. Bearer of the bearer. That just made me giggle. Thank you, Zen Ginger. I just thought of that before the before the stream. Stephen White coming in from Spain. Who would you like to meet and have? Oh, we are actually, Stephen, that's already been asked. He said, who would you like to meet in history and have a discussion with? That was actually already asked. Our friend Dennis Christensen asked that question on just about every stream. So you missed out, buddy. But it's good to see you, Stephen. I'm glad you could make it live. Stephen oftentimes comments on the streams after they're done. So it's great you got a chance to do it. Whip's World coming in. What's up, Whip? Okay, just a few left. Mark says, boo hiss, Patty and Zenny. Okay, this was Whip's question that he's always asked. So you've got all the money you'd ever want in the entire world. You don't ever have to worry about it for you or your family ever again. You can do anything you want. So what are you doing and where at?
Well, first thing, obviously, we already know is getting the dental work done. But other than that type of stuff, I would definitely travel the world. I don't even care where I go. I just want to go. Really, I mean, I would love to go to Jamaica.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen some pretty cool stuff in Jamaica. With all the rock, like diving, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
into the ocean and stuff like that. Zip lining through all the jungle and whatnot, and I think that'd be pretty cool. Definitely would want to go somewhere cold, like all year round, like Antarctica or something. See something like that. I think that would be pretty neat.
Travel.
Yeah,
Travel in the world.
In general.
Really, I like that question.
Yeah,
I like that question.
Get out of the United States.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like my wife and I, Michelle, play this game often. We never even play the Powerball. We don't play the lottery. This time I did, but when it gets up to like $1 billion, we'll play a ticket, $2, whatever. But we like to talk about it. What would we do if we won that? We have that pipe dream, and like I would love to build an actual library that's just filled with all different kinds of books. It's such a fun question to think about. Yeah. Larry D coming in saying hi, and Paul Patera, hello, Paul. Let's see. I think we're at the bottom, and actually we're 1 minute over, so that works out perfectly. Again, anything that you'd like to tell people before we take off? Anything you want to mention or bring up, or?
Not that I can think of. Appreciate you guys being here. I was shocked y'all are this many deep still.
I told you that's how it's going to be. It's a great community of people. It really is.
Yeah. Thank
you guys for hanging out with us for 2 hours. Again, there's a bunch more streams coming tonight, so make sure you catch some of them. Thank you for dropping the links, Zen Ginger. Nathan does have a bunch of content over there, so if you're not subscribed, maybe go take a look. Thank you for the super chats and the member stuff. I really do appreciate that. You don't know how much that means. And again, if you'd like to join, my email is at the top of the screen. Shoot me an email. That's the best way for me so that I can add it to lists and do all kinds of stuff with the email. And please, everybody, please send me an email. I'd love to
do it again.
See, it wasn't that bad, was it?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I'm not worried about sitting here and chatting with y'all. I know it's like I said, it's all in my head, like.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
Like the excitement. Yeah. I love this. This was fun. I love doing the Fish Fam auction. So that adrenaline mixed with like nervousness but yeah, I would do it again.
Richard Reynolds came in too. Hi, Richard. Hey. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you throughout the week. I feel like there was something I wanted to tell people, but I
don't know.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. June, only Oscars. Did anybody hear how she was? Her husband had to go to the hospital the other night. I think it was kidney stones, something like that. Does anybody know if they heard from June? Is she doing okay? Is he doing okay? Drop it in the chat so I can see it. Eduardo, hi. And we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, appreciate y'all joining.
All right, clicking buttons.